Yeah.
Yes, great. This is so nice to see everybody. Okay.
The video is switched off.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. No worries.
Hello, I'm from the beautiful country Maldives.
Hi, this is Chaya from India.
Hi, everybody. So good to see you all and hear you.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
From Nepal. I'm Nara Dhamalat from Nepal.
Great. Welcome. Okay,
Thank you.
let's see.
Rajnaran Singh from Lucknow, India.
Great. Okay.
Hi, this is Rahmatullah from Kabul, Afghanistan.
Hello, welcome.
Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you too. Okay, great. Well, let's start. I see there's a lot of people managed to connect. Hello.
Hello, this is Dr. Farzana Arjuman from Bangladesh.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the webinar.
Can you hear me?
Hello, this is Lalita Pradeep from Lucknow. I will soon on my video.
Okay.
Just a moment. Yeah.
I can hear you all loud and clear. That's great.
Thank you. So nice to see you.
Yes, it's such a nice opportunity to meet everybody.
Namaste. Everybody, good evening. Rajnaran Singh from Lucknow, India.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I am Samir Lukman from UNESCO Islamabad.
Hi, Samir. Nice to meet you via Zoom. Good.
Hello,
okay.
Namaste.
Hello. Hello.
Namaste. Hi, everybody.
From Nepal.
Okay, let me start, and then I'll say briefly who we all are.
Hello.
Jennifer, you are mute.
Yes.
I think we should take turns by raising hands. I think many people are talking together. So let's take turns. Let's raise our hands if we want to introduce.
Sure. If somebody else would like to introduce themselves, I'm happy to provide some space for that. Yes, Nazir, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Nasser Mahmood from Pakistan, Punjab, and I'm working in Punjab Examination Commission over here. Thank you.
Welcome. Who else would like to introduce themselves?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, please.
Me, Manuja Baral from Nepal.
Nice to meet you. Who else would like to
Hello,
briefly?
I'm Adla from Department of Inclusive Education, Maldives.
Hello, nice to meet you. Welcome to the webinar. And Kandu Georgie, sorry, I can only see the Zoom name. You're muted.
Sorry. Hello, I'm Kandu from Bhutan.
Hi,
I'm a lecturer in I'm a lecturer in Paro College of Education.
Welcome to the course and welcome to this webinar.
Thank you.
Sure. Who else would like to introduce themselves briefly?
Hello, I am
Jean Molly. Yeah, Jean Molly, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Jean Molly, Ugandan by nationality, currently based in Nepal, UNICEF Education Section. Thank you.
Welcome, Jean Molly. I saw Akram, he raised his hand as well.
I am Akram Jan from Punjab Non-Formal Education.
Welcome to the webinar.
Thank you.
Bishnu from Bhutan. Hi, Bishnu.
So you have introduced me. Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Yeah,
Bishnu
Bishnu,
yes.
you work in the UNICEF office, right?
Right, that's right.
Welcome. Okay, let's see. Yes, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Who's speaking?
I'm Mohiuddin Ahmed Talukdar.
Yes, we can't hear you very well. Who is speaking?
Yes, I am Mohiuddin Ahmed Talukdar, Deputy Director, Pre-Primary Education, Bangladesh, from Bangladesh.
Welcome to the welcome webinar and welcome to this course.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me start by welcoming everybody to this welcome webinar. I realize that not everybody had a chance to introduce him or herself, but I would like to move ahead so that this webinar will stay within a 1 hour time limit. Please let us know if you have problems in the chat room underneath. You can write a message. Our course team will be monitoring that. I would also like to ask you to switch off your sound. And now that we've seen each other, also your cameras, to ensure that the live stream is working well and that we don't have any technical issues. I will start this welcome webinar with a brief welcome message to every one of you, and provide a little bit of a background to the course, but also to what we're trying to achieve in this welcome webinar. We are really excited that so many people could join us today. So thank you very much for connecting. We believe it's a great opportunity to meet face to face and get to know each other a little bit more in the virtual environment. And again, please make sure you switch off your sounds.
Jennifer, I'm going to mute everyone in 1 second, so you just need to unmute yourself. All right?
Okay, sure. Okay, great. So I'm Jennifer Pai. So I am an IEP program specialist in Paris, France, and I'm the course coordinator for this UNICEF IEP course on the Foundations of Disability Inclusive Education Sector Planning. The objectives for this webinar today is really for everybody to meet each other, to provide you with a warm welcome to this course, and make sure that you meet the course instructors who will be guiding your learning process throughout these 3 modules of this course. The course lasts for 9 weeks. You may have had a chance in the introductory platform to already get to know a little bit the structure of the course, but we'll talk a little bit more about the structure and the learning objectives later on. First of all, let me welcome you all and highlight the countries that participate in this round of the course, in this second round of the course. We had already implemented this course in Eastern and Southern Africa, and now we've been inviting countries from South Asia to participate in this course. So we're welcoming MOE teams from Afghanistan, from Bangladesh, from Bhutan. We have India, notably Assam, Uttar Pradesh, and Gujarat states joining. We do have from the Pakistan, Sindh and Punjab provinces. We have the Maldives and Nepal, and finally Sri Lanka joining us in this course. So we have 8 countries represented, which is exciting in terms of the experience exchange that we're hoping to initiate in this foundations course on disability inclusive education sector planning. I would also like to stress here that the entire course team is acutely aware of the issues your ministries and school systems are facing at the moment with the global pandemic. We believe South Asia is heavily affected by the crisis, and we would like to ensure that you know we will provide as much support in your learning process as we possibly can throughout these 9 weeks. So don't hesitate to send a message to Plan for Inclusion so that our course team can support you, both in terms of content, but also in terms of perhaps technical issues that you may be facing in this virtual environment. You will have noticed with the welcome webinars such as this, we are trying to create a connection, and you will also find that we've introduced consultation meetings where you'll get a chance to talk to the instructors face to face during these 9 weeks, which should facilitate communication and also your learning throughout the course. I would also like to briefly mention a few things on the IEP training approach. IEP typically uses a group work approach to your learning. That means that we're promoting you working together in teams, which maximizes your own personal learning, but also that of each other, which means we placed all of you on the platform in country teams. And each team has nominated a group coordinator who will be fulfilling a couple of responsibilities that we've already shared with these people. Throughout the course, the group will be asked to complete a number of assignments, group assignments, which means you will need to communicate on a regular basis with each other. And we have, for this purpose, provided you here during this welcome webinar with a brief virtual meeting where you as teams can meet together, introduce each other, see what your objectives for this course are in terms of your personal learning, but also to identify how you're moving forward with the group work, how you're going to get organized. For example, will you be using a WhatsApp group? Will you be using a Google document? Some of you may have already have these routines in place, given that the pandemic has been around for some time now in some of your countries. Let me now move on to provide the other course instructors with an opportunity to introduce themselves to you. And let me start by handing over to Natasha Graham from UNICEF, who has been coordinating the course with me as we implement this course. So Natasha, please, the mic is yours.
Welcome, everybody. Really, really exciting to see everybody. This is the first time that we decided to do this welcome Zoom call. And especially now that everybody is so used to working from home, it's nice to have that personal touch. My name is Natasha Graham, and as Jennifer said, I've been working with UNESCO IAP on building this course, but I'm also one of the instructors for Module 2. So you will see a lot of me in Module 2. And I hope that you will come and visit me during my office hours. We have virtual office hours that we'll be talking about a little bit later on. And I'm looking forward to working with individuals as well as country teams and going on this journey together. My background is in disability inclusive education, education of children with disabilities before inclusive education came on this agenda. And I've worked on education sector analysis and planning, looking at education systems through a disability inclusive lens. And that's something that I look forward to doing with you as part of this course, but also continuing to work with different countries as you embark on this education sector analysis and planning in your regular jobs. So welcome to the course, and I look forward to working with you.
Thanks very much, Natasha. Let me hand over to Daniel Mond. Is he around? Dan?
He is. Let me just make sure he can unmute.
Okay, thank you, Tori.
Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself and I got a message, you cannot unmute yourself. Welcome. It's okay, no problem. Welcome, everybody. It's nice that you're all here. It's too bad we can't all be physically together, but it's great that we can still try to establish a community. So I've been working on inclusive development, in particular questions around data, monitoring, and evaluation for a long time with many different UN agencies, originally with the World Bank, and really looking forward to talking with you about data, education management information systems, and collecting data. Quite often when people hear the word data, they think, oh no, this is numbers, this is boring, this is tedious, but it's not. Because in order to get good data, you have to really know what you have to be able to think clearly about what you need to do, what you want to do, and how you're going to know you're successful. So it's an opportunity to really think through everything, and hopefully in my section of the module, I can give you some guidance and also learn from your experiences on how to do a better job at that. So welcome everybody, and look forward to interacting with you as the course goes on.
Thank you very much, Dan. Let's hand over to Bob.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Prouty, and I am also delighted to be talking with you. You know, in these days of the pandemic, there's so little social contact. I feel like I'm sitting in my home without talking to anybody all day long. And suddenly to have so many of you on the screen all at once is an amazing, amazing privilege. So I'm very much looking forward to the interaction with all of you for this course. I'll be a course instructor for Module 3. So that means I'll be working on strategy selection for access to a good quality inclusive education. My own background, most recently I was I was head of the Global Partnership for Education. Before that, I was working as an education specialist at the World Bank. And before that, I was a teacher and a high school principal. I have worked on inclusive education issues, not as a specialist, but as somebody who's very interested and engaged on these issues for much of my life. So it's a real privilege to be able to interact with you, mostly from the perspective of the classroom and how to make sure that we get strategies that give us real results at the school level. So again, looking forward to it. There will be office hours that will be posted where we'll have a chance to talk one-on-one or with groups. And I'm also happy to interact with you as appropriate beyond that as the opportunities come up. So thank you all very much, and this will be a great adventure together.
Thanks very much, Bob. Let's meet Tori. Tori?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tori McKillop, and I am the course tutor throughout this course. So that means if anyone has any questions, concerns, send them my way. And if I don't have an answer for you, I know where to direct you to who does. So I have been working with this course in this round, the last round, and with the course development. And before that, we also had 2 roundtables in Paris that it was a privilege to work on. And it seems like many years ago now, I was teaching in New York City, special education, children with disabilities, and it's wonderful to be working on this very important issue at an international level. And I look forward to working with each of your teams. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tori. Sage.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sage Capo-Greco. I'm working as a consultant with the virtual campus here at IEP. So I'll be kind of the go-to person for any kind of technical issues or technical concerns or anything to do with the platform. Please feel free to reach out to me in the Q&A forum. I'll be doing a little tour later, but I'm so excited to be on the course with everybody, and please feel free to reach out when needed. So happy to help. Welcome.
Thanks, Sage. Chiara.
One second, I need to unmute her. Let's see. There we go.
Okay.
You're good now.
Thank you very much. So good morning and welcome to everybody. My name is Chiara Martini, and I'm currently working as an intern for the International Institute for Educational Planning. I will be helping and working with the course team, the course coordinator, the instructors, and I'm very happy to be here to help and work and learn with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chiara. Is Ludivine there? Ludivine? Ludivine is another staff of IAP working on our virtual campus, supporting you with technical issues.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, there you are. Okay, well, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm working in the training team with Jennifer, and I will be assisting you in the use of the platform. Sage will explain you at a later stage. Welcome to everybody.
Thank you very much, Ludivine. So now that you've met all the course instructors, just briefly, we also organize a couple of webinars with additional specialists in the area of inclusive education. And I trust that you've looked at the course calendar and marked that in your calendars already. There are 4 of those that will happen. I also wanted to thank those who've already participated and introduced themselves on the course platform. We already had some active participation, notably from Bhutan, the Maldives, and Nepal. And a special kudos goes to our participant from India, Bharti, who's completed the entire introductory phase already, which is great. So if you haven't already done so, you still have time to do so before we move into module 1. So I trust that you get a chance over the next week or so to check out the platform and get familiar. And we're using this welcome webinar also to help you in that process. Now, in the next few minutes, I'll provide a brief overview, and so I'll share my screen with you now. So bear with me. Okay, I trust everybody can see my screen. Tori, can you confirm?
Good.
Okay, that's great. So, welcome again to this course on the Foundations of Disability Inclusive Education Sector Planning, which is a course that was put together by IEP and UNICEF. We've been putting together a design workshop with input from a number of experts, both independent and within UNICEF and IEP, representatives from academia who've been inputting the design process and determining the content of this course. The team, or rather the course design, has been supported by a technical advisory group who've been reviewing the content and have been providing input on the development of the course. And we have, I'm happy to say, received accreditation for the course design in 2020, actually in August of 2020, which is fairly recent. So we've obtained the label Quality Matters for this course. Let me briefly outline the learning objectives. The course is divided into 3 modules and the introductory phase that you are currently in. The first module will last for 2 weeks, module 2 for 3 weeks, and module 3 for 3 weeks. And then we have a final phase, which allows you to complete the activities. Just as a reminder, and you have seen that perhaps in the participant guide on the platform, module 1 is very much about the concepts and the principles and the benefits as they relate to inclusion in education systems. So we're going to clarify some of these concepts, discuss them, how they're being interpreted in your current policies and legislation, and the group work exercises will be very much geared towards an analysis of the policies and legislation in your systems. Module 2 is about education sector analysis as part of the planning process. We're looking at recognizing a disability inclusive ESA as part of the planning process, looking at what that means in terms of data, but also in terms of a systems approach to disability inclusive education and what we mean by that. Module 3 then will be going more into identifying the steps and formulating strategies to include issues of disability in the analysis and the planning. So really looking from the planning cycle perspective into the formulation of strategies to make your education systems more inclusive. So this is very briefly the outline in terms of the learning objectives. I would invite you to check the participant guide as well, which goes into more detail as far as these learning objectives are concerned. I will now hand over to Tori, who will be taking you through the rest of this presentation.
Let me share my screen. And here we go. All right. So we should be able to see that slide again now. If someone could confirm real quick.
I confirm, I can see that.
Great. So each module has a number of components that will be repeated. In the beginning of the module, you will watch and read. We have animated presentations, PowerPoints, that are recorded with narration. And these are accompanied by a number of selected readings. The PowerPoints, the files are available for download for review, as well as the transcripts of the narration. Then you have the prepare section. For all of the modules, this will include a group work assignment. The group work assignment has multiple sections you can review and go through. In the module 1, it's more focused on policy review and scoring. and then it will get broader into a larger framework for disability inclusive education and data in Module 2, and then further into strategies in Module 3. In Module 1, we also have a school observation or interview. This will be discussed a little later in the presentation. Then individually, you'll participate in the webinars, which will be recorded and posted afterwards if you can't attend. The online debate, hot off the press forum where we have recent articles from all of the countries that are participating, a class poll. And then we also are assessing our learning along the way. There is a quiz in Module 1 and Module 2. You have the option to take the quiz twice so you can review materials if there are questions that were more difficult. A learning journal, and we also ask for feedback in each module. Since the course is offered multiple times, we greatly rely on your feedback to improve the course as we go along. Now, we are very excited in this round of the course to introduce consultation hours or office hours, where you'll have the opportunity on certain days throughout the course to meet with various instructors. You can meet individually or as your group. These are set up at times after group assignments have been turned in, so they can be turned back to you with feedback, and you can sign up for consultation hours to review the feedback with the instructors if you'd like. The first round of consultation hours will be predominantly with me, actually, if you have any questions about the platform or assignments overall. Then we have also added onto the platform group work resources, including virtual collaboration pages if you would like to create a wiki with your group, and links to various platforms for meeting online. And finally, we do also note that for most participants on this platform, English is not your first language, so we have links to translation resources we encourage you to use. And we hope that everyone can take advantage of when we do webinars. There are auto-translate captions. We hope everyone finds humor in any mistranslations that happens. But anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via email or the Q&A forum online. Additionally, on the platform, we have a great section called the Practitioners Corner. This is a really rich section with lots of interviews from South Asia with practitioners in the field and what they're doing. There are discussion threads on there we hope everyone will participate in. It is not a required component, but it is a very rich component for discussion. Then we also have a forum for discussing the impact of COVID-19. We also have a library that has lots of resources, international resources, and country-specific resources. A glossary, the Q&A forum for technical and content questions, as well as an area for you to share resources. If any team has any resources they would like to share in any language, please submit them there. Finally, we wanted to go over some course policies and good practices. This is an intensive course, so it does require planning, time management, and planning your time from the beginning. So if you can, use the introductory phase to get ahead. I've seen a few of you actually do that already. Schedule group meetings at regular intervals. In the last round, the groups that were most on track to get everything in on time were ones that really met regularly throughout the course. Of course, with COVID-19, your health comes first. So if you need any assistance in coordinating virtual meetings, please reach out. Consult the course activity outline, which is what you can see here on this page. It's available in the introductory phase and in each module. It lists exactly what components are required for the modules. And there's also the course calendar, which gives you an outline of when the consultation hours are, as well as when assignments are due. And a final point I wanted to make, as we are all working from home and internet is getting more stressed by everyone working from home, please save all your work regularly, especially with the online platform. If you are writing a discussion forum, I recommend saving it in a document and then copying and pasting it into the discussion forum in case there are any internet issues. So that way you don't need to rewrite it if you have to reload the page. And again, if you have any questions, reach out. So for the introductory phase, some of you have gotten a head start on this. By the 28th, please participate in the introduction forum. We also have a forum that's attached to the video in the introductory phase, Shrey's story. So participate in that, as well as complete 2 surveys. We have an introductory survey, as well as a survey that asks about your EMIS system. The data from this survey will actually be given to Dan Mott for him to highlight during his webinar. And explore the platform and plan ahead with your team. We'll be opening Module 1 on Friday, so you also will have the weekend to get a head start on Module 1. And the last point we wanted to make was on the first assignment, the school observation. Obviously, with COVID-19 right now, a school observation is not feasible for many of you. So we also have a plan B, which during the last round of the course, many found plan B to actually be very enriching, where you interview a person who's living with a disability or a group of persons living with a disability if you reach out to a local DPO. This can be conducted virtually, remotely. Please choose the option that is best for your health and the health of all those involved. This assignment is due first on October 5th. And if you have any questions about that, let us know. So email us at planforinclusion@iiep.unesco.org or follow us on Twitter. We do have a Twitter account, Train for Inclusion. Thank you. Handing back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Tori. Great. And if there are any questions, as Tori said, don't hesitate to come back to us via Plan for Inclusion. I would strongly recommend you to look at the course calendar and the activities document that Tori presented, because it really gives you a good idea in terms of the amount of assignments and required components of this course, and it helps you to plan ahead, basically. So now let me hand over to Sage, who will be doing a brief overview of the platform that many of you all have already accessed, but I think it's quite helpful to provide a brief overview. So please, Sage, over to you.
Hello again, everybody. I'm just going to do a quick sharing of the platform. And I'm just 1 second going to start sharing my screen here. Here we are. All right, so let's just get back here to the welcome page. All right, so we have the platform, and again, many of you have already taken a look and completed many of the activities, so we thank you all for doing that. We'll just go over quickly the introductory phase. So here at the top, you'll have a little navigation bar where once the module has been released, you'll have access to each module, and we'll be opening those on the Monday of the week of the launch. And then, so on every page, you'll see this landing page with a little bit of information. And at the bottom, you'll see the navigation of all the activities for either the introductory phases we're looking at here or for the modules. So in this section, I would encourage you all to go take a look throughout the introductory session to just get a feel for everything in the course. So we have this about the course section. Please take a look at all the accessibility policies and Twitter guidelines if you're interested. And of course, the course guide is right there. And then moving on, we have the activities section. Many of you have already introduced yourselves. And then we have a few other activities for you to take a look at as mentioned. And then also here is quite an important space where you can find your profile, and at your profile you can also change your password. So I'd encourage you all who have received a generic password for this course to go ahead and change your password just for security reasons. And then of course we have the My Scores section. So as you work your way through the course, you'll be getting marks and grades. So I would encourage you to visit your My Scores section to take a look, and you'll have a little breakdown of where you're standing in the course. And so here up at the top, I'm actually just going to move my little Zoom window here. I know you can't see that, but here at the top we have the announcements section. So as soon as you reach the platform, you can take a look and see what's going on. You all receive the announcements in your email as well, as I'm sure you've realized. And here as well, we have the progress bar, which is also quite useful. So as you progress through the course, and accomplish different activities, these little squares will turn green. So that's a good way to kind of monitor your progress in the course. And then I'll skip over the Q&A forum just for a moment because I'll come back to that. But as well in the sidebar, we have many resources that you should take advantage of. We have an amazing library, glossary. Please take a look at the COVID-19 section. Very interesting interview there as well as the interviews in the practitioner's corner. Please take a look when you have a moment. And then an interesting addition is the share resources button, as we've mentioned before. So please take a look. If you have anything to share, you can use this button on the sidebar here to follow the instructions and share whatever resources you may find. As well, we have a little block here showing our latest tweets from the Train for Inclusion Twitter account. So please feel free to follow us, and you can look on the platform to see what we've been up to here. And then I just want to go through quickly how to add a post thread. I know many of you have already done so in the welcome forum. So here I'll just walk you through that really quickly. So when you get to the forum page, you'll go to the thread, your chosen thread. There may be more than one here. And once you're inside the thread, you can go ahead and click reply on any message, and it will a little dialog box will appear. And if for any reason you would like to add an attachment, please click advanced, and then you can add an attachment by simply clicking add file here and navigating this box to choose your file. And then always click post to forum. That's, I guess, self-explanatory. And for this purpose, I'll just cancel it here. And then finally, I'll just have you take a look at the submission space, which is very similar to a forum post. So this is one of the Module 1 assignments that you do not yet have access to, but in a few weeks you will. So when you're in the assignment page, please click Add Submission, and you'll see a similar dialog box to before, and you can click Add File here and choose your file. You can also click and drag into this box here and always click Save Changes. So there you go. And then finally, I'll just navigate to the Q&A forum, which is kind of like my the communication hub for any kind of inquiries that you may have. So from the main page, you can go ahead and click Q&A forum on the sidebar, and feel free to ask your questions in either this content question topic or the platform and technology question topic, and Tori or I will be getting back to you as soon as possible, hopefully within 48 hours. And please note here, as well as in all of the modules, you'll have the consultation hours page where you can go and book your consultation hours with the instructor. So please take that into consideration. If you'd like to book a consultation hour, you can come here, take a look at the schedule, but it will also be linked in each module as we progress through the course. And if you have any further questions, oh sure, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that if you are posting a question in the Q&A forum, this is a great place to post questions that you feel others will have, as it's an open forum, so it will be available for all participants. If you want to ask a question directly, email it to us, and then as Sage mentioned, you also have the consultation hours.
Awesome, thanks Tori, good point. Okay, and just finishing up here, if you have any additional questions and would like to reach out to us directly, please go ahead and use the Plan for Inclusion email address, and we would be happy to help you. So thank you so much, and let me know if you ever have any questions. Please feel free to come to the Q&A forum and ask them there, or reach out to us directly.
Thank you so much, Sage. That's been really helpful. So I would like to come back to basically the next item for this webinar. First of all, I saw in the chat that some of you are concerned about the interviews or school observations. So basically what we're going to do next is we're going to place you in virtual meeting rooms by country, where you get an opportunity, first of all, to present yourselves and also share your expectations for this course with your fellow team members. It's useful to check what the expectations are because it may make your group exercises and the way that you organize more effective and efficient, both in terms of the logistics, but also in terms of your own personal learning experience. So this is the virtual meeting room, and the virtual meeting room will also serve for you to get organized in terms of your group work, which means how are you going to set yourselves up to make sure that you're efficient? Do you want to meet once a week? Do you want to organize yourselves with a WhatsApp group? So it's very much down to you to discuss how you would like to set yourselves up so that by the time we finish with this welcome webinar, you already have a pretty good idea how you're going to move forward in terms of organizing the teams. And I'm coming back to the interview and school observations because it very much depends on your country context or state or province context. You may decide as a team, just by the sheer number of infections and the fact that government has decided to close down the ministries and the schools, that such a school visit is obviously not possible. It may be that in some countries the situation is very different. So we are aware of that and we leave the choice to you, knowing that during the first course, we did encourage people to do the school visit, and it was a very rich learning experience for most participants. But obviously, if you decide not to go with a school observation, then we're putting out the option of an interview with a person or persons with disabilities. Now, if in your immediate environment you do not necessarily have such contact, we encourage you to reach out to a disability people's organization in your country to see whether they can put you in touch with somebody. We do provide very detailed guidance on how to go about the interview on the course platform. And we will open this course platform in terms of the group work soon so that you can check the instructions, both in terms of group work, but also in terms of the school and interview options that we're putting out there. So again, during the first course, we had a number of people choosing that option, and some of them, as an example, decided to interview somebody within the ministry who has a disability and learned about that person's educational development in terms of an inclusive environment or not inclusive environment. So so again, we're putting that out there, and you'll be getting the instructions on this activity over the next few days. So now is the exciting time when we're organizing these virtual rooms. So the idea, as I said earlier, is present yourself, share your expectations, and then decide how you will organize yourselves in these groups in terms of moving forward. You will have some of us in the groups, but we are not there to necessarily facilitate. So if the group coordinator could take that role, or alternatively somebody else within the team, so that you can come up with a decision on how you're moving forward with those exercises. So you have 15 minutes to do that in the groups. You will be directed seamlessly into these rooms, so you don't have to do anything. Sage, please correct me if I'm wrong, and you will automatically be redirected back into our big meeting space here on the platform. So take that time to organize yourselves, and once you are back in the big meeting room, we'll be answering your questions that may have come up during these group sessions. Natasha.
I think somebody has a question. Akram raised a hand.
Okay, sure. Akram?
Or maybe it was by mistake. Sorry, because the hand was up for a while, so I...
Okay. So basically, I will ask Sage to direct you into your groups. And as I said, Dan, Bob, Chiara, Natasha, Tori, we will be joining you in these groups and we'll be facilitating, but you should be taking the lead on introducing yourselves and presenting your expectations and organizing yourselves. Sage, can you go ahead and place everybody in the rooms?
Yes, so everybody should be in a moment seeing a little dialog box pop up that's will ask you to join the room. So go ahead and join the rooms, and in 15 minutes you will be given another dialog box to return. So we'll see you all back here soon.
Hi, Sage.
Hello, everybody. I hope you had some interesting discussions. I know it's short, but it provides an opportunity to meet each other and set up a few parameters how you're going to collaborate over the next few weeks in your team. Just waiting for a few seconds. Okay, I just wanted to spend 5-10 minutes on some question and answers that may have arisen, questions in particular. So please come forth if there are any questions that you have. It is now here in Paris 3 o'clock, so let's say at 3:15 at the latest we finish off. So are there any questions that have arisen during these 15 minutes in your rooms? Just put up your hand so I see, and we'll hand over the mic. Ritwik, Patra from Uttar Pradesh. Ritwik, I hand over to you.
It'll just take a second.
Okay.
You should be unmuted now.
Earlier, I was unable to do it. Okay. So, Jennifer, the questions we had in our group, because we had participants from Uttar Pradesh and from Gujarat. So, the first question was whether we will work as a team vis-a-vis having a separate, a single WhatsApp group or email group, whether the assignments will be done together, group assignments will be done together, whether there will be one coordinator for these two groups. So these are the three main questions we had. So let me repeat again, whether these two states will work on assignments separately or together, whether they will coordinate with each other for each and every assignments, and whether the assignments will be done by both Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat together, or by Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat separately.
Thank you very much for this question, Ritwik. So basically what's happening is that some of your groups are very small, and in order to encourage experience and knowledge exchange, we thought it would make more sense for you to be in a bigger group with participants from a different state, so you can discuss the completion of the group work from the perspective of 2 versus 1 state. Now, once you've seen the group work activities, You may decide that you want to do it just the two of you in the case of Gujarat, or you may decide to work together with Uttar Pradesh on this. So we're leaving you some scope for decision making as far as the completion of the activity is concerned. As far as the course coordinators are concerned, is basically the same, that you decide if you're working as a team with the state of Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh or Assam and the federal level, then you probably will only need one coordinator, because you need to decide how you're going to upload the information, or rather the group work assignments on the course platform. So that's a decision that you should be taking amongst each other in terms of how you would like to go about completing the exercises. It will be more work for you if you decide to do it within the state rather than amongst 2 or 3 states. Does that answer your question, Ridwik? Ritwik?
No,
okay.
I'm being permitted to speak. Before that, I cannot speak. No. So,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, to bring in more discipline, that's the way. Yeah. So, Jennifer, you are very right. If we do the work in a group, both the states join hands, then the work will be less. And the learning, what we discussed in the group, that the learning will be enriched. When a state like Gujarat and a state like Uttar Pradesh work together, the learning will be much better. Maybe we'll face some hurdles in coordinating, but I think we'll manage that. So we'll have our discussions amongst our group members between these 2 states and decide who is the coordinator and whether we are doing it separately or jointly.
That's great, Ridwik. That's perfect. Thank you so much for taking that initiative. Let me hand over to Bharti Kaushik.
Hello everyone. Jennifer, first question is, I was somehow.
Can you your sound is very low.
My sound is very low.
It's getting better. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like my first question is, am I audible now?
Yes, we all hear you.
So I was somehow I found myself in the Bangladesh group. So will that be the group I would be working with, or?
Let me answer that straight away. No, you will be working with the team from Assam, from the state of Assam.
Very sorry about that confusion.
Oh, so I was trying desperately to find the right group, but somehow I couldn't join the right group. And who would be the leader?
I will get back to you, Kaushik, and we'll send you the information.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure, no problem. Dawadi, Diva, up to you. Divya, can you hear me? Do you want to ask your question?
You should be unmuted now.
Maybe we can get people to type the questions. That'll be.
I apologize, everyone. I just changed the settings to where you should be able to, when we ask you, unmute yourselves, but I'm sorry that cut you off, Natasha.
No, I was just saying, maybe we could get people to type their questions. It'll be faster, because I see we have seven.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure. Who is this?
I'm Nasir from Punjab, Pakistan.
Go ahead, Nasir.
Okay,
yes,
thank
please.
you. Thank you. The first problem I faced in this break group was that 2 of my participants were missing from there. I don't know whether they have been assigned to another group or not. And 1 participant from Islamabad was in our group. Prior to this group, we had already did some meetings on Zoom, and we have already introduced ourselves to each other. Right now we had again introduced ourselves, and we had two questions actually. One question was because we have assignment to visit a school to interview a disabled person. So we were discussing either we should go for a special education situation where we find the disabled person, or we should go a formal school where we need to identify some person with mild or moderate disability, or even we can go for some severe disability. Finally we decided that we should go for a formal school for a formal school where we can have a interview of a person with disability, what problems he is facing in a formal school, or either there are some facilities, access facilities or learning facilities or any assessment facility is being provided over there or not. And second, we decided that we should write some questions, interview protocols, because we do not have any some guidance regarding what kind of questions we will ask. So our group decided that we will write some questions to interview that person. So if you guide us, please, that either we are in right direction.
Thank you very much, Nasser. They're very valuable questions, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in hearing our responses to that. So basically, you would like to undertake an interview of a person with a disability, which obviously is feasible. Please note that we are providing you with the questions for this interview. You will find them on the platform. We will be sharing them with them. We will be sharing these questions with you soon, so that you can set up an appointment with a person with a disability. Now, if you decide to do a school visit, that's a different activity, right? The school visit would pretty much invite your team to get to know a school in terms of its approach to inclusive education. We are encouraging, if the school visit can go ahead, to perhaps choose a school where there's been some movement towards making the school more inclusive, where you can then talk to the teachers, possibly with a headmaster, to see how the school has been going about making the school more inclusive and perhaps what the challenges have been in that process. Please note that this is a different activity, and I understand that in a lot of contexts you will not be able to do that. And so if you go for the second option for the interviews, note that the questions are already laid out for you. As far as your team is concerned, it's great that you've already met. We appreciate that. So which means you are already set. This particular virtual meeting was basically meant for those who may not have had a chance to meet. So you've already done that. So Dr. Masood, you're already set to go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Sure. Are there any other questions? I saw Deepak. Hi, Deepak.
Zoom meeting. Audio now unmuted alert.
Hello. Am I audible?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I want to know something. I am a total blind, so I need some some notebook or handout or screen share. Can you provide me a day before for my reading, or is there any facility for Braille or sending a day before the handout or screen sharing materials?
Thank you very much, Deepak. I'll hand over to Tori. We've tried to make the platform as accessible as possible. I understand you use Daisy as a screen reader. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we'll be contacting you individually and make sure that you can access all the materials in this course. So Tori will be taking a lead and reach out to you.
Yes. And for the materials on the course, we will be sharing them in multiple formats in general for everyone. And if anyone has any questions or concerns about accessibility of documents, please reach out to me via email at Plan for Inclusion. and I will follow up with you. And Deepak, I will be emailing you after this call. Thank you.
Thank you. It's pleasure.
Thank you. Sarah, you have another question.
Hi, not a question, just wanted to let you know that I was placed in the wrong group and I need to be brought back to Pakistan Punjab group. And as Dr. Nasser just mentioned, we've already met before prior to this introduction, so we're all set to go and we're quite excited about this group. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thanks for notifying. Let's see, do we have another question? I would like to finish off and let's see, I have Bishnu from Bhutan. Bishnu, put out the last question and then the rest will be sent to us via mail. Bishnu?
Yeah, I typed my question. Thank you, Jennifer. I typed my question. My question was whether the school visit is focusing on primary grades or any grade, because we have schools reopening from grade 9 through 12. So there is a possibility for us to visit a school where there is grade 9 and 10. So just wanted to get your advice.
We are flexible. If you believe that it would be beneficial to the team to visit the school at the secondary level, also because of the conditions that the others is closed, we would welcome that and we would encourage you if you think it is safe to do so from a health perspective.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. I would like to close. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Mohiddin. Yeah, I'm Mohiddin from Bangladesh. Mohiddin from Bangladesh. Hello, I'm Mohiddin from Bangladesh. Yeah, just one more question. So we are already well informed by you about the course introduction and how to coordinate with the coordinator. I think there will be some individual work, some group work, and some lots of assignments in during the courses. But all types of tasks and assessments will be coordinated by the coordinator of your own country. Is not it? Or by the coordinator. He will coordinate with among us, the other group members. Sir. It is his duty to coordinate with us. And so in that case, in Bangladesh, we are all from primary education, not secondary. We are all related with the primary education, and we are working in the field of primary education. So I think our target will be the primary education students, the disabled, those who are primary education studies in primary education only. Yeah, the concern is that only primary education.
Thank you for this contribution. Yes, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it really depends also on the background of the team members, obviously. So you just have to come to a decision within the team. So that's perfectly fine, and the coordinator will reach out to you. So let me finish off here, and I'm handing over to Natasha. Thank you very much to all of you for joining this welcome webinar. We hope it was useful for you to get a better idea of the course content, the learning objectives, and how we are structuring the course. Over to you, Natasha, to close this welcome webinar.
Natasha, unmute again.
Hello, everybody again, and it's time to say goodbye. And I wanted to, as we start discussing strategies and policies and data, and as Dan Mont said, data are just numbers. Many of you have seen already the video for the in the pre-phase. If I could just have a show of hands of those who are on video, who have seen the video of Srey. Yeah, so, and we've had quite a nice discussion about who she is and where she comes from and the challenges that she faces while accessing education system. So I just wanted to remind everyone that behind every statistic, there's a real story. And as Dan said, data, numbers, and it gets boring. So when we get into these real stories, then we discuss the challenges in the education system. And behind every education system, there are children. And then going back to the numbers, we have a third of our population are children, but children are 100% of our future. So I wanted to share with you a couple of pictures of the real girl that the story of Srey was inspired by and adopted from. So I'll share my screen. Didn't work. Oh, well.
It did.
It did, okay. Just showed one picture. So, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you to make sure that the future is accessible to all children with disabilities and without disabilities in your education system. So I very much look forward to working with you with individuals and the teams, country teams, and then beyond the course as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Natasha, and goodbye to everybody. And we'll look forward to seeing you all on the course platform. And please send your questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.